Please welcome our morning's keynote, Shankar Narayan, founder of Satvic Vegan Society, founder of Satvic Vegan Forest, counselor of International Vegetarian Union. Please welcome Shankar Narayan on Rewilding the Western Ghat Forest. Shankar Narayan.
Namaste. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm very happy to be with you today, this evening. And I am actually speaking from a forest. Just now, Reni explained how you have to feel having your feet on the ground and imagining a tall tree. So I am in such a forest. My internet connection may be sometimes weak. It has to catch signal from a faraway place. And apologies if any disturbance is there. I'm telling you in advance. As of now, it is going good. And let me explain you where I am. I am in the western part of India. It's called Western Ghats area. And it's a very, if I go out of my small, humble hut, it is totally dark outside. There are wild animals moving around. There are deer, wild boar, and nilgai, and several other small animals like rabbits, mungus, porcupines. Or daytime, you have many other types of animals coming here: monkeys, macaque, peacock, then great Indian hornbill, and great squirrel, giant squirrel. So all these animals are around me now or during the daytime. I am speaking inside my shed or my abode. This is humble hut here. And as of now, everything is good. So I am going to speak about rewilding the planet. As part of rewilding planet, we have to rewild our country. To rewild our country, we have to rewild our region. And to rewild a region, we need to start rewilding our homes. This is what I'm going to talk about today. The last one, rewilding the home, rewilding my home or my life. See, in 1989, when I read Mahatma Gandhi's autobiography, the story of my experiments with the truth, my vegan journey started. One profound quotation from Mahatma Gandhi, which I keep practicing, keep telling, is be the change you want to see in the world. Because of that, my veganism, before I knew about veganism, I started my vegan journey as a person who wants to change oneself. Similarly, this forest, today's topic I'm going to talk about is similar project. Be the change you want to see in the world. Presently, it's my forest area is about 3 acres. It's a vibrant forest. As I said, so many animals, wild animals. I don't have any pet animals. I don't have any prison animals or any animal or any living being in my control, whether it is a plant or an animal. Everyone, everything is totally free here. For me, freedom is the most important gift one can give or take. Therefore, if I have to get that important gift of freedom, I have to give that freedom to everyone. Therefore, I don't control any living being anywhere as far as possible. Therefore, I live here alone. Though I may look a civilized person. I'm totally wild here when I live in this wild forest. This is a wild forest. This is not a food forest, nor a fruit forest. It is wild. I like this because there are certain reasons why I started developing this forest, started living here. May be interesting to you. As the schedule of the program, I'll be speaking for about 20-25 minutes. Then I'd be happy to answer your questions. I don't have any presentations, so I am presenting before you myself. If any questions, anything you may ask me later. Reason, as I told you, I'm always believing that Gandhi's words, be the change you want to see in the world. I may not be able to change others. I may not be able to change the world. So I have seen my own journey. 20 years ago, I started my vegan activism. Before that, became vegan. My journey started long ago. I know I haven't achieved a vegan world. It may be a distant dream also. The least I can do is change myself. So that is a profound feeling or thought for me. Any change I feel like bringing in the world, first I bring it myself, in myself. So that is how it started. Another reason was my Bangalore stay. Before coming here, I had a corporate life. I was working in Bangalore. After moving away from my village, started living in Bangalore early 1980s, and I was feeling suffocated. It was a beautiful city compared to what it is now. But at that time itself, I was a wild animal in a civilized world. It was very difficult for me to get adjusted to that environment. I was feeling suffocated, not just because of the pollution, because of every aspect of a city life. So I wanted to escape from that, but I was dreaming. It was not possible for me to escape immediately. I was sharing my thoughts with a friend in 1989 that one day I would like to go back to my roots, go back to a place where I can live a beautiful life in harmony with nature. And as people say, if you can dream it, you can do it. I was dreaming then, and it was a reality in 2007, 2008, in fact. So this was Bangalore life was a motivator for me to come back to my roots and start this journey. Another was my Europe visit. I haven't traveled abroad. I lived abroad for some time in Middle East, but I didn't travel extensively in other countries except for my vegan work or vegan conferences. In 2008, I traveled to Europe, some 7 countries. I had a very beautiful experience with my friends who took me to various places. I was taken to some forests here and there. Everywhere, wherever I went, there were beautiful forests. But those forests, to my astonishment, were not wild. Those forests were all curated by humans. There were human footprint everywhere. There were benches to sit, there were footpaths, and it was all looking like man-made forest. Comparing those forests to the forests in India, which I had visited by then, I felt totally different. Therefore, I wanted a forest like that. Third, another point was, again, the same year, I had gone to Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad, India, Gandhiji's ashram. There I felt for my vegan activism, I need a peaceful place like this. And out of that, this present Sthitaprajna vegan forest is born. One more point was visiting Sadhana forest in Pondicherry in India. There is another rewilding project still very active. Uh, Mr. Raviram Rosni will be speaking, I think today, or you might have spoken yesterday also. I had visited his forest. That was also a part of inspiration for me. Instead of having a regular house, why not have a uh, place where I can regenerate forest? So with all these, my concept of living in a forest or building a forest and living in a forest started. As I told you, in 1989, I was discussing this concept with someone. At that time, my idea was to go and live in a forest. As I told you, I was tired of city life. I wanted to go and live in a forest. But our system, our civilized world doesn't allow that, in India at least. We are not supposed to go and live in a wild forest. It is prohibited. Even if you have to enter a forest, you have to take permission from forest department, pay the fees, then they will allow us to go and visit a forest. In that situation, I cannot go and live in a forest on my own. What was the best alternative? Next best thing I could do? Create my forest and live there. So all this rewilding the planet, rewilding the Western Ghats were not my objective. I wanted to live for my selfish reason. I wanted to live in a forest. Therefore, I started developing this forest. Then all other things, other ideas, other points were added to this. With this, today you see the germination of thought was long ago. And after 35 years, I am in a forest, living alone, dreaming, and realizing my dream. It's a beautiful experience. As I explained, it's night now here, around 10 o'clock. It's a pitch dark outside. And it's a beautiful sky observatory also. It is not just a forest, because in forest, you get everything pure. So here, no sound pollution, no noise pollution, what you call, no air pollution, no water pollution, no light pollution, no human pollution also. Very few people live here in this area. It's a tribal people inhabited area. It's a Western Ghats area, and people living surrounding this area are tribals, very peaceful, very friendly, very harmless, helpful, and close to nature people. Some of them are even vegans by default. Without knowing, they don't eat animal products. So that kind of place I am in. And so this beautiful place, how it happened, may be interesting. I didn't do much. It is only an idea. And I am also a guard here. When I bought this land, it's about 3 acres. When I bought this land, it was an empty land. There were no trees, only very few old, useless for human use. Humans don't cut trees which are considered useless or obsessed by ghosts or something like that. Therefore, such from human point of view, useless trees were there. Otherwise, it was empty land, a grazing place. So now it has become a beautiful forest with a vibrant nature, a flowing rivulet during monsoon. There are water bodies. There are grasslands. There are totally different varieties of wild forests. And this has happened how? I bought a plain land in 15 years or even 16, 17 years now. It has become a beautiful forest. And a lot of people want to come here, but only my inability to take them is the restriction. Because I live alone, I have to take care of those who visit here, and my health is also failing. Because of all these, I'm not taking too many people now. Otherwise, people want to come here. This is such an attraction. I used to have my vegan festivals here till 2022. People used to come here, enjoy. Though people's visit is an enjoyable for those who visiting, it was not so enjoyable for the wild animals here. I could feel that also. So animals used to get scared when a lot of humans visit this place. And now it is almost wild except me. There are no human visitors. There are no festivals, no activities here. It is just, I have certain principles for myself also when I live here. With those principles, one is simplicity, as simple as possible. Uh, it is totally dark here. I don't use light here much. For first 4 years, I lived without electricity. 2013, we got electricity coverage here. I use very minimal. My monthly consumption is maybe 10 units or 12 units like that. It is very, very small amount of consumption I do. I don't have any gadgets except laptop or a mobile phone. Then we didn't have telephone connections also here till 2019. For about 12 years, I lived here without telephone connection, 4 years without electricity. And now last 5 years, I get some feeble connection because of evening or sometimes I get stronger connections. I am able to communicate with you now. So in this situation, how it happened? I planted in installments some 4,000 saplings bought from Karnataka Forest Department. Those were planted, simple. I have principle for myself and for my plants also. If we are strong enough to survive, we will survive. If we have to go, we will go. My plants, my animals, myself, all follow the same principle. As long as we have energy in the body to survive, we will last. When it is over, we will go. We don't need any intervention. Similarly, I didn't intervene in the life of plants. I planted them. I didn't water them. I didn't manure them. I didn't protect them. Simply, I planted them. And many survived, many died. Many died because of their inability to adapt to this environment. Many died because of wild animals consuming them. Many died because of some animals rubbing their body to them and removing their skin. At the same time, many natural plants have come into this picture, come into this place. Birds have planted some seeds. So there were several varieties of plants, orchids. I can't express everything in English because I can feel it. Particularly during monsoon, you see such a vibrant atmosphere here. There are flowers, there are different types of plants, grow herbal plants. Everything is available here by nature. It is not my effort. So when I planted 4,000 trees, I just started being a guard. When I'm here, no one comes here and cuts it. Otherwise, people may you find it useful and take it away. That is the only thing I have done other than planting. So it was very, very easy. It was very easy to grow this forest. I didn't do any, there was no volunteer requirement, there was no labor requirement, there was no money required. So it was such nature doesn't need our effort. That is my experience. If you allow it, same is our body. Same is our body. If you allow our body to heal and thrive, it will thrive. If we interfere too much, it will have difficulties. Same way, in my forest, I don't intervene in anything. If nature takes it away, each season is different here. Every 12 month, it is totally different. Monsoon time, 3-4 months, each month is different. Then after that, we get some windy months. Just now, it's January also, we had very, very windy. But no tree was uprooted, though it was very windy. Some branches fall off, lot of leaves fall, but forest is intact. So far, no damage has happened in spite of heavy wind coming every 2-3 every year for 2-3 months. Not every day, but at least a few days in a week. Then I didn't do any other work. It was very simple. But many people ask me how you cohabit with wild animals. So there are wild animals, as I said, no civilized animals, no controlled animals, no pet animals, no tortured animals, no animals in human control. All are natural, all are free. So that is most precious to me. Therefore, I say this is the unique place. People have animals in every place, even if you go to ashrams or resorts, everywhere there are some animals in human control. Here in this, it is totally wild. The way nature intended them to live, they live. People blame me because of my forest, there are so many wild animals live here. They sometimes go to others' fields also. At that time, they may not feel comfortable. But so far, so good. Nothing has happened. So animals live happily. This is the way I brought up the forest, or I witnessed the forest. I won't claim that I made this forest for the way to express, to convey the meaning, I sometimes say. Otherwise, in spirit, I didn't do anything except being here. My presence has helped rewild this area. The most satisfactory thing for me in this short life is if I have done anything worthwhile, anything materialistic, anything visible, is this forest. I sometimes feel when I'm alone, always so, I feel such a beautiful, ecstatic, blissful experience here. I am seeing, looking at these forest friends, trees, wild animals. They are so good. They never harmed me. They could have harmed me anytime. Harmed me because there are so many poisonous snakes. I have seen king cobra. There are crates, lot of crates. There are other smaller insects, scorpions, and so many animals. Even tiger I saw once, and I could hear tiger roaring nearby in the night. So no animal has done any harm. In fact, they have inspired me to live here. So this is the beauty of forest. Forest has everything in balance. And this is my experience. I can keep going on expressing whatever my experiences. Always a beautiful experience, though I live alone here. At present, it's no one. If something happens to me, if I don't get phone connections, no one will come to know whatever happens to me. Even if a snake bites me, no one will come to know about it. So that is still, I feel very peaceful, very happy. You may look at me and say that you are not in a forest. Once happened, I went to a school. So they publicized that a forest man is coming. Children were anticipating a Tarzan, but they found me and disappointed. And similarly, you might also get disappointed looking at me. I look like a normal person, but I'm not a normal person. I'm a wild person living in a wild forest. And that is the most happiest thing I can claim, I can boast of. With the living with humans, it is not easy. So living with animals or living in forest, living in the wild, it is so easy, like a fish getting into water. I feel so comfortable because I never come in their way and they never come in my way. So if this is part of be the change you want to see in the world, if everyone strives to wild themselves, many problems will solve by themselves. It is not just rewilding the planet. Our life becomes very simple. We don't need so much. We don't have to be greedy. We can live simple. So these are my few words for you. I think time is uh, up for question and answer now. Hope I made my point. I didn't prepare anything because these are all coming from my heart. For any speech, I don't prepare because if I prepare, I am not a good PowerPoint presenter and I fail in that. But if I speak from my heart, there will be some people listening to that. So this is my few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shankar. We feel it from your heart. And I'm very moved, and I know the participants are very moved, and I have questions, and I know they have questions. So I'm going to ask the people to, if you have a question yourself, please turn on your camera. Our host will be allowing you to turn on your cameras, and then I'll know that you're able to come on screen. So I'm going to go with Renee first, if you'll spotlight Renee. And then Danny, do you have questions from the chat? All right, then I'll do okay, thank you. So we're going to spotlight Renee. Got it. Hello, Renee.
Hi, thank you so much for that. I have such a heart for rewilding since meeting Dr. Rao and going to Costa Rica with him and a few other of our friends that are also deeply interested in the rewilding aspects of our planet. And I have the sanctuary here in Texas, Rowdy Girl Sanctuary, and we have 147 acres here. And before we got here, it was so wild. It had been barren for many, many years, and there was lots of butterflies and all the wild things and animals and all the things. And when we brought the cows here and all the animals, of course, it didn't take long. It was all eat up because there's not enough land for all these animals. And I've always said that, I wish we didn't have to have a sanctuary for these animals. I wish they could be free. They could, I wish we had a way to buy back or get back all the land that's being used wrong so all these animals that are in sanctuaries can be free because it's never good enough. It ain't never good enough for these animals. They should be free. They shouldn't be even behind a fence, even any fence. They should not have to have me to take care of them. Um, and so you brought me to tears. I was listening to you, and the heartbeat of what you're doing is the heartbeat of why I exist for these animals. And I wish that I could just open all the gates and let them go, but they would get killed by people that just mean them harm and would just keep killing. So how do we awaken humanity? Because I do believe it is about rewilding our hearts. It's about rewilding our homes, about rewilding our lives. And I've learned so much from Dr. Rao. So how do we do that collectively? How do we do that? How do we make that difference collectively?
Thank you. So it's not an easy question to answer because so a lot of people. So once what happened, so now I am not on social media much. I posted on a lot of people used to ask me, I would like to do a project like yours. I would like to come and live close to your place or in your place. People used to ask me. I posted, how many of you are seriously interested? And I thought, there is a World Land Trust, you might have heard. They purchase land and leave it to wild. So private land they purchase and leave it to wild. Similarly, we could also do, I thought, with the others' help. I did a small portion, but with others' help, we can do a larger area, I thought. And I advertised or published on a Facebook post. About 400, 300 to 400 people shown interest. So I would like to be part of your project. Then I asked them to give their contact numbers so that we can take its next step. About 50, 60 people gave me contact numbers. Then before going further, I asked that 50, 60 people to come here, visit my place. If you like it, then we'll take it forward. And only one came. And that one person also not interested. Okay, this is the reality. People want to do a lot of things, But in reality, they are used to city life. They can't live that controlled environment. They get addicted and they can't leave that. Whether it is gadgets, electricity, or transport, or facilities, whatever one finds in a city, it is very addictive. They want that kind of facility in a wild area, which is not practical and possible. Therefore, I don't try to convert anyone. As I said, be the change you want to see in the world. If someone gets motivated, I'm very happy. Even if no one gets motivated, I'm happy too, because happiness should not be taken away by someone. So that is why I keep myself motivated when I do something. My vegan events, I do in cities. So I do it for my satisfaction. Even I get prepared to go there, do, because it is painful to leave my forest and go to a city. Dr. Rao was there with me in Vadodara recently last month. We had an event there. When I travel, it's a lot of difficulties for me. It's one expensive, another lot of efforts, planning, everything I have to do. But still, I go with zero expectation. But finally, I will have enough people for my events. Similarly, this is the easiest way. In our Bhagavad Gita, it teaches. So do your duty without any expectation of karma result. So when that is happening, it is smooth flow. If I have a corporate target, if I want to convert, if I want to convince someone, it is not easy. The transition, the change has to come within. They may get motivated. It's a journey. Everyone has a journey. In that journey, people get to know so many people, and people or things or plays or events may motivate them to do something. I was motivated by someone. Similarly, everyone has a journey. If you think of changing the world, I don't think that will be easy for us. So better to take it easy, do your duty, and leave everything to God, nature, whatever you believe in. So relax, keep doing your good work.
Thank you. Thank you, though. I
Thank
needed to
you.
hear that.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you, Renee. We have about 4 more questions, so I'm going to bring up Danny, and then we'll go to Nancy and then Allison.
Thank you.
Hi, and to say I'm jealous is probably an overstatement, probably an understatement, actually. Sounds beautiful. Dakota and I have a similar question. How do you feed yourself? Do you grow? Do you have a garden there that that you use to feed yourself? Do you still go to a grocery store? And what is your humble hut made of? That's one question. We have one more.
Can you rephrase the question? I didn't understand fully.
Sure. What do you do for your own food? Do you grow it there?
Okay, okay.
Do you
Okay.
still go to a supermarket?
Yeah, I don't grow. So nearest shop is about 15 kilometers. I go once a week or once in 15 days. I need very less because I am not very physically hardworking person. Because when we don't work like a laborer, manual laborer, we don't need to
Okay.
eat so much. We eat over.
Yeah.
In general, that is my observation. All
Okay.
our problems, disease, because of overeating. So I consciously control my diet. I eat once a day, one meal a day, and remaining time a little bit. I don't need much money or food. This is my current status. I don't grow because one, I am not an expert in growing because I live in civilized world mostly. So I didn't learn growing. It is little easy, not easy. And if I grow something, then I can't travel. I can't attend events or do something. Therefore, I don't grow anything here. Still, there will be something growing. Some mango, some jackfruit, some wild berries, all these. Those are eaten by animals, and I too sample sometimes.
Right.
Otherwise, it is not enough for me. I go out and get. If I start growing, then I have to control that. I have to fence it. I have to
Sure.
protect it. Then I'll be too much selfish in that. Therefore, I don't have anything. Even no robber has a business here also. So nothing can be taken away.
And we have a quick question from Carrie that was wondering if you could suggest how a vegan in a small city could create a home with forest and wild animals. What can we do first? Thank you.
Wherever you are, be the wild person in yourself. So your mind should be wild. Wild means simple. See, I learned from, okay, of course, Gandhiji, I learned some values, some principles, but lifestyle, I learned from animals. They don't have any demands. They don't have any expectations. They don't have any requirements. I can't go to their level. There is the highest level of living. I can try to be aspirational, minimizing, leaving things. So this I have been doing. I keep doing that. So we can minimize our requirements as minimum as possible. I don't have a refrigerator. As I told you, my electricity consumption is about 10, 12 units per month. So I don't have to use every gadget available in the market, or I don't have to buy every food product available in the grocery. I don't have to cook and prepare extensive meal. So I don't have to do all those normal people do. So
What
be an abnormal person as minimum as possible. That is wildest. You will be considered a wild person if you don't do like others. Then life becomes wilder at least.
and what do you use for water? A water
Water,
source.
I have a well. I have a well. It is giving drinking water for 12 months. Seasonally, I have a stream. I have a pond for swimming, for taking bath, everything. I have natural things, but seasonal. But now it is another 4 months we don't have rain, so it will be dry. But I have drinking water from my well. I don't have to pay for that.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Danny. Thank you for concise questions. Nancy, I'm going to ask you to ask your question first so we can move on and make sure we get everybody else's questions in, please. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so inspiring. I loved your happy energy. And I had similar questions about the food and the water. But I also have a question about the animals. And so I haven't noticed too many tigers and lions in New York City. But since you mentioned poisonous snakes and tigers and, well, lions or whatever, I understand that tigers, lions, the wild cats will not attack humans or any living being except from behind. I guess that's the best, like, scare, the most surprise attack. And so that keeps you pretty safe if you're aware. But do you ever take walks? And if you did, like, encounter a snake, like what's your approach? And if you got poisoned, what would you do?
Thank you,
Yes.
Nancy.
So I encountered a tiger about 50 meters away. It was face to face. And that was once. And another one, I was on a bike. I faced again, we were crossing. It was moving towards me and I was going away from opposite direction. I saw. And another time, tiger was roaring during COVID time. It was very close. And snakes are very common. Poison snakes are very common. First thing is, my belief is I am not in their food channel. I am not part of their food chain. Therefore, they don't come and attack me. If by chance something happens, accidental, I may get bitten, it can happen. And it is accident. Accident can happen anywhere. I have a very fragile roof. It can fall down now. It can happen. It's already old. So we can meet with an accident on the road. It can happen anywhere. If a snake bites or something happens like that, it is an accident. Whatever accident has to give us, we will take it. And spiritually, as I told you, like a tree, like an animal, they won't think about how long they want to live. If they have the energy or strength, they live as long as possible. But they don't have a set lifespan. A snake doesn't think, I want to live 20 years. They never think. So I have wilder my mind that I should also think like that. I should not think that I should live 100 years. I am already grateful to this world for allowing me to live. I'm 60 years now. I have lived 60 years. I'm very, very grateful. I don't want to live another day or even I'm very contented. If a snake bites this night, I will not see tomorrow morning. I don't have any regrets. So that is my mindset. When I'm like that, I don't have to worry anything. If something happens, let it happen. Otherwise, I may live several more years and see you again.
Beautiful. Thank you, Nancy, for that. Thank you, Shankar. And now we'll have Allison. I'll add you. There you are, Allison. And we're going to unmute you.
Shankar, thank you so much. I was just glued to the screen listening to your story. You do not need a presentation other than your heart. So that is so beautiful. I just finished on Friday reading the book Walden. I don't know if you've heard of Walden, but it's a book written by a man who lived in the forest for 2 years. And one of the things he talks about extensively is the way nature embraces him in the forest. He lived by himself. And I was wondering about your experience in the forest. Do you feel welcomed? Do you feel embraced? Are there animals that find you curious, that visit you, that take a relationship to you? I'm interested to hear you share about that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, how much time I have already? I should not.
We have time for one more question after this.
I mean, time-wise, how much time I have? I have to shorten my time answer.
7
we have
minutes.
7 minutes.
minutes.
Okay, I don't have much time. Okay, so as I told you, living in nature is very easy for me because I am not in their food chain and I don't intentionally harm anyone. Therefore, mosquitoes won't bite me. Even if they bite, there is no reaction from me. Or I don't have any mosquito net or mosquito repellents or nothing. So I will be little more careful in the night while going to washroom also. Otherwise, everything is normal, not difficult at all. It is very easy. Contrary to this, living with humans is not easy. Living with humans, we need lot of principles, lot of ideas, lot of. So therefore, I have so many principles to live with humans. Okay, those are all different chapters. But with animals, with the wild, okay, of course, if you want to live as a civilized person, there is struggle. To keep my house in order, I need to keep cleaning as often as possible. Otherwise, nature will occupy. So those are all there. Otherwise, if you can adapt to the nature easily, you don't feel dust, you don't feel any insect moving around, there is no big problem. If you want a spick and span city life, then it is a big struggle. If you live like a wild animal, I don't wear much clothes. This is only for this presentation. Otherwise, I don't wear this also. So I have one piece of cloth. So very easy. So nothing happens. Very easy that way. If you adapt yourself. I think I answered. So one more question is there.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hello, Amit.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
are well. Amit.
Yeah, I have two questions. Both are important, but the first one I would ask, are you not afraid about the most dangerous animal on this planet, humans, who would probably come and acquire your land? Take up the only land that you have. I know your answer would probably no because you already said you are contented with your life. The reason why I asked this question is me and my wife, we have this dream that you are already living in. We have set a timeline for that, maybe 15 years down the line when our daughters have grown up. We are going to settle down on the ghats of Narmada River, right? And we read about Narmada Parikrama and all, and we have seen the area. But how do we go about achieving that target? How do we acquire land? Who do we talk to? Or and what are the kind of did you face all these questions? Because you said it took 35 years, and then I feel that I'm already late. So that was the
Okay.
question.
Okay, there is nothing late in life. Whenever you are ready, you do it. So, when your time comes, you will do it. And see, time is not much there now. I don't want to overstep my time because
No, we still have 4 minutes.
4 minutes, okay.
Yeah.
So 4 minutes, fine. See, if you have to buy a land,
Yeah.
wherever, that is Narmada, Western Ghats, wherever. If you have a lot of money, you can buy whatever pay. If you don't have a lot of money, you have to go to a place where there is market value is very less. I
Hmm.
did that because I didn't have a lot of money. Very small money I had, very small. If you think, you will laugh at me. I didn't have even 1 lakh rupees, 100,000 rupees. A friend of mine gifted me something. So like this, it all happened. So I had very less money, still I could do it because I
Yes.
moved away from people. So when you go away from people, market is very not very competitive, not very pricey. It is cheap. I bought that kind of land where it is price is very less. Though now it has gone up because of power connection, road and all. At that time when I bought, it was very cheap. And go buy the land and just leave it as it will grow. Forest will grow. If you want a
Hmm.
particular type of forest, then you have to plant.
Right.
Otherwise, it will naturally, whatever available will grow.
Yes. Because that's the question, even if I say we have 15 years,
Yeah.
there's a constant insecurity that no matter how much money ever we earn is going to fall short. And that's where
Yes.
I want to close it. That this is it. I like you said, we have this money, we buy this land and then let it rewild, and then when the time is right, we go and move out of the family life and go and settle there.
Yeah.
Right. That
Whenever
was
you
the
are ready,
question.
you will do it
Yes.
and spend maximum money for the land and minimum money on building construction.
Yes. Got it.
So
Yeah.
that will help you. Otherwise, if you
Hmm.
build a huge palatial bungalow and then you will not have enough money to buy the land.
That's right.
And
Yes.
yeah, you don't have
And
to hire
this,
people, no servants, nothing is required. Just a place or maybe a fence in case people encroach.
yes, fence. Yes. Right.
So
The
for me,
second
you
important.
asked me that question. I don't
Mhm.
have any worry. See, many kingdoms have collapsed,
Yes.
right? So if my forest becomes a factory land tomorrow or something, I don't have to worry about that. Whatever nature or destiny intended for this will happen. As long as I have energy capacity, I will protect it. Protect means I will live here. That is, if someone throws me out, fine. That is also allowed. So
Hmm.
whatever nature is in store for me, I'm happy with that.
Because my parents never moved out of because of this insecurity. They're still living in a flat. The second most
That
I'll
is the
just take 1 minute. Did you ever give speeches or awareness at colleges in Mumbai, particularly when you
I
started
have
in
given.
2005?
I have given in many colleges. Recently in Ahmedabad, we had given in National
No, I'm
Institute of
asking
Design.
20 years from now, in 2005. Did you visit any colleges?
Not in Mumbai. In other places, I have visited several.
Okay.
In Goa, in Karnataka, other
Okay.
places we covered.
Because someone visited our college 20 years ago and they had planted the seed in me. Unfortunately, I forgot who it was. And I believe it was you, probably. So I wanted to ask you.
Mumbai, I didn't come. I might have come,
Okay.
but not college. I don't remember anything. My memory is very poor. I don't think of tomorrow. I don't think of yesterday also.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And
Thank
it
you.
is time for our next guest. We are
Yeah.
so pleased that you came today, and we wish you all the love and joy that you already have. We hope it continues.
Thank you. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity and listening my few words. Wish to see you sometime here whenever your destiny brings you to India or to my place. Thank you. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
You too.